Oh, sorry. I was deep in thought over the fantastic TF2 that we've got waiting ahead of you. I'm going to pass you over to my good friends. They're not actually my friends. Ombrack and Ro. They're going to be casting this game for you. Enjoy, my children.
Thank you, War, for that wonderful blessing that you've given us, that you've imparted onto us, so that we could carry on your legacy in this match between SVIFT and Ascent.
Yeah.
SVIFT, the only international team at this event.
Pretty much, yeah. With international meaning one NA guy and other Europeans. Because
So they're like 18% international.
Okay, I'll trust you on that one.
Trust me on the math. It works. Something like 18%. It's more like 16.6666666666. So that's the rundown. SVIFT. Banny and team. Banny and company.
Banny and Raptor Season 27 Prem Medic and many other really, really impressive players. Like
Silentes.
I think SVIFT is like this kind of legendary players team.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Samzy, Silentes, Ali. Only asked like. All of these players are completely insane one by one. So the idea of merging them all into one single team, it's like, why do we even play LAN? Like, we already have the winner somehow.
Exactly. If you made a fantasy league with just names, you would accidentally make the roster of SVIFT.
Yeah, it could be.
If you wanted to make a good fantasy
Maybe
league team.
you could get an actual medic, but yeah.
Oh, well, there you have it. Raptor is uneventful, unimpactful in this SVIFT roster as it stands. But we do have the contenders to take down SVIFT. SVIFT being one of the crowd favorites, one of the most expected teams to do well in this LAN. We have Ascent coming up from their first season of Prem, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Ascent that we've seen once already today. They were the first game we've casted so far.
Yeah, we've already covered them.
So yeah, I'm not going to go over them again. They're just a Prem team, established Prem team with mostly new players. So on paper, it's like new players versus legendary players, LAN beginners versus LAN proven players. So on paper, it's like, again, why are we playing this game? But last one night cup, Ascent almost took a map from SVIFT. So like nothing is written, and we said it countless times before. This is LAN. Everything can happen at LAN. Upset. It's like upset isn't even an upset because you can expect the upset. So it's like. And it's Reckoner. It's a map that Banny doesn't really know well. It's a map that hasn't been around for a really long time. So there's still this part of uncertainty, you know, these gray areas that you don't really know how to take care of, and it's like a combo of unexpected stuff that could happen. And again, people may say, yeah, SVIFT is the favorite, and I'm not going to deny them. It's true, but again. That doesn't mean Ascent can't take the map.
Yeah, and this is the LAN setting, like you said. All the best stuff about being able to DM freely, hitting all your shots instantaneously, and all the pressures of players around you, other factors coming into it. We're going to be seeing Reckoner, our first map in this best of two between SVIFT and Ascent. The second map will be Goalie Wash, which is brand new to today's matches, as far as I know. No one's picked goalie so far.
Quite possibly, yeah. Shall we, quickly, we'll go over SVIFT roster?
Sure.
So the scouts are Ast and Samzy, Ast playing the pocket scouts and Samzy being the roaming scout. On roaming soldier we have Silentes, or also known as Silantes. So I guess you can understand why by yourselves. On pocket we have the legendary Panzerman Banny.
Lanny.
Of course. And on Demoman there's almost as famous as Banny, Ali Boy, as known as Ali, and on Medic, we've talked about him before. It's Raptor, Season 27 Prem winner, Medic. Yeah. So it's really only stars on this team.
Exactly. Over on the side of Ascent, we've got Kradu, Sorex as the scouts, Samsky and Polygon, your soldiers. We're going to be seeing plenty of them in their action. Elikor, the presumably hacking demo man, but he's proved himself on LAN, just hits pipes. He's just that good. And Babs on Medic. We are ready to go now. We have the server up. Players are getting their little 15-second respite to talk about what they're going to do at the mid fight. And now we're going to be rolling out here our first mid. We've got one more match tonight, but right now it's Ascent versus SVIFT going live. We do see Elikor going a lot slower than Ali, as far as I can tell. This is a whole new map to me, so I have no idea who's getting there faster, but Ali going to be getting to the mid right away, shooting some stickies over to the enemy players. The big bomb right away from the soldier. That's going to be Salentes getting... No, sorry, that was Banny who initiated there. Following it up is Salentes coming from the side. He hits onto the shack, doesn't really connect with anything. Kradu's moving forward now, trying to get in position. Samsky goes behind and is going to be able to get picked up finally by Polygon, but Swift is taking a lot of control right now as they have the number advantage.
And this is Swift's signature. Look at the aggression from all of his teammates. Like, they're all going in, besides this guy who's going for mid. Kradu is cleaned up by Ast, and they're gonna try to go maybe for Bab, but the Austrian medic is hiding in spawn so far. But this is Swift. This is an all-aggressive playstyle. If you give them room, don't worry, they're gonna take it. So yeah, this is probably the Banny's touch on this team. We know that European likes to play it slow, but Banny doesn't, and I think that's how we can tell that Banny is playing on this team.
Ali going really aggressively there. He tried to bomb into last and get onto the medic, but Babs was juking around, did not get pressured whatsoever, and as a result, they just sacked their demo, and right away we see they're retaliating through this main area, trying to get through, but Salentes is spamming it out. The stairwell is really choked off, and there's not a lot of room once the spam comes through, and we do see Samsky getting onto the point. So much damage on Ast, but he's going to get cleaned up by Ast at the end of the day, and that was as much room as they could get, and they've decided to back off. Ali has respawned, and now Swift have a number advantage.
Yeah, this is Reckon the last. It's really hard to push from because it's only choke points if you don't go 2 seconds. So Ali is going in again. He's jumping, gets the dispenser. It gets taken down by Polygon in the end. So a dispenser for Ali, that's a trade I'll take any day. And as a response, Samsky is spawning on Spy, and maybe you try to go for the medic. And this is just the map. The map is so choky that even when you lose a demo man, you can still hold your second point quite comfortably. So this map, not everybody like this map, mostly because of this feature, and yeah, we have it highlighted in front of us right now.
Samsky currently getting in position, hiding behind the rock. He's getting eyes on the medic. He does spot it, waiting for that cloak and dagger to recharge before he can make his way across. So things are going to get a little bit slow, but right now we do see Banny and Ali getting very aggressive in the main area. Ali's going to be going for a bomb here any second now. He is legendary for his bombs, and it's a follow-up from all 3 players, but he clips against the doorway and nothing happens. They just back off, and at the same time, Samsky went for the spy play, but
that was a bait for
off.
Samsky. He faked his jump, so Samsky would think that was free to go, and Ali definitely has a really big brain. And looks like he wants to go again for his famous jump, but Salentes is going on the right side, trying to get there's a sentry down. Maybe gotta get some damage on the building, but it's not happening. Ali is peeking on the main side, trying to get stickies. He gets the demo man. That's a really nice pick from Ali. Maybe that's the entry pick Swift needed, and I'm pretty sure Banny is gonna lead the charge anytime soon.
Salentes, though, is on the right side, meeting up with Kradu, who's just chipping away at him with the shotgun. But the sentry is hiding behind the pillars, very close to the point. Banny's going to get cleaned up by Samsky as he jumps forward, juggles him on his feet, and Samsky's going to be rotating back around, going to be getting out with the rest of the team. They do not want to get too close, and this is, once again, a sense opportunity to peek out, but this choke point is not the way to go. It is so stalematey just to try and get through all that coordinated spam. They need to work as a unit, clear out the traps, and just potentially try and rush their way in, but as far as I can see, there's only 2 ways to get to the out of last.
Yeah, there's the underpass that is quite hard to go through, and this is the other feature of Swift. They know they want to play aggressive, but they actually know how to play passive. They know how to play the game slow, and that's mostly what makes them a European team. But they know pretty much how to do everything.
Ali going in so deep with the double sticky bomb in midair. Was able to connect on the Babs for just a moment, and a follow-up bomb is going to put her down so low, but 15
Babs
HP.
is so weak, she doesn't use the Uber, she has the nerves not to use it, and maybe that's opened the repush for his team. That was really nice play from the medic not to use there, because usually when Ali and Salentes bomb you, you have no choice but using the Uber.
But now with this 2-player advantage, they're going to be walking their way through. Samsky's going to be the first frag on Banny, who's sitting at the shutter, taking him down and going to be following up on the Sorex. He's close behind, shoots a rocket, but to no avail. The respawns will be coming in at any moment now. Salentes lining up to the fight that is potentially going to be breaking out here. But Ali gets taken down by Sorex, who is peeking his way over the mid area and on the right side. And now with that demo man down, there is so much freedom. The shutter is a lot more powerful to walk through because you don't have to worry about sticky traps. They just need to just push right now. Stop waiting, please.
Yeah, but with the gun, it's kind of an entrance. They can't really go because of the sentry. Kradu is switching this position of the sentry, but that's not doing anything. And it looks like Silentes trades with he trades with Polygon. In the end, doesn't accomplish much. Bunny is going really aggressive main, but he decides to go back in the end. He doesn't want to commit that much, and it looks like Ali wants to take down the sentry gun, but he doesn't really know where it is. And this is going to be another stalemate. Samsky and Silentes down. This is going to be a reset for Swift. But as dies as well from a rocket from Samsky, and that could be it. And maybe that's the repush as needed. They're all stacking at the shutter door. Maybe not the proper position when you push from the special tickets, but the Uber is used onto Sorex and Elakor. Babs juggle into the up. Can she escape? Not really. She's getting juggled by the demo man. In the end, she escaped, but at what cost? Elakor and Samsky dies, and now it's Sorex. Only 3 people up from Ascent. This is looking really, really grim because 5 players from Swift are alive, and Babs dies as well, and Polygon. It's not only a gun and a Credo, an engineer, but that probably shouldn't be enough. He gates something with a pistol, but in the end, that's probably the first round for Swift. Yeah, Ali trades with Samsky, and that's 1-0 to Swift. Kind of a hard push from Ascent, and they got punished right away.
You know, Samsky had a really good opportunity to flank through while all 3 players of the flank, both Scouts and the Roamer, were down. And Samsky found his way to the underpass, but when he jumped off, the Uber exchange was already happening. And by that point, everyone died. He did get a nice air shot onto Banny, but it was too little too late. And as a result, Swift will be taking their first round in this first map, Reckoner. Our follow-up map after this will be Goalie Wash. Right now, we're going live with this next round after the players have had their talk. Ali making his way towards the left side of mid, going to be rotating actually to the right side. I don't what is this rollout? Okay. Ali coming up the ramp, the slope, going to be cutting off the main entryway to the point, and that actually gives the rest of Swift a really good ability to take the positioning. As Silentes moves up onto the left side, juggles Elakor onto the crate. He's so low on health. A follow-up bomb from Banny, but he gets air shot and piped by Elakor. And now it's a follow-up from Sorex onto the point. He sees Samsky, but Samsky's right next to him. Doesn't even shoot. Samsky stays alive. Ali's going to get down right any moment now, but no, he stays alive. And Ass is able to clear him onto Samsky. Crady rushing forward, able to take on Ali, and he's following up. One more shot is all it takes, and he pistols him down. That's going to be the mid to Ascent, wiping almost the entire team.
Yeah, we told you they're capable of having, being able to be good and play the game properly versus Swift. That was an incredible mid from Elakor mostly. It was really weak, so he got arrow by Babs. Silentes is trying to go for trying to go for Babs. Gets 1 rocket and finally forces the medic. Really nice play from the Roma, but again, the mid was really good, and that's something Ascent should build from if they intend to come back into the game. It looks like they're going to go really aggressive on top left, but Elakor is on his own now. He has to come back or he's going to die. The Ubers are quite the same, and Raptor doesn't build his Uber, or maybe my HUD is broken, I don't see Ubers, but yeah, this should be probably a reset, or Will Bunny being so aggressive will lead the charge.
Not going to be a charge because, as it stands, both teams have relatively the same Uber, even though Babs popped and Raptor was up for just a moment to build that Uber up a tiny bit. It's actually right now it's on the side of Babs building so much faster, utilizing that very fast Uber building using the crossbow is already at Uber, and Raptor is only at 80%, so this is a lot of opportunity, but they're just going to assume that they have Uber advantage because they don't recognize that Raptor's not been building efficiently. Elakor walking to the base of Ast, almost gets taken down, but he's charging up the shots, peeking around the corner, does not connect onto Polygon, but Samsky's going to be rocking forward, trying to get through the choke point, but Ast has his shots ready and lined up, and it's going to be very dangerous for anyone to peek their way towards Ast's scope.
Yeah, look at the position of Ali, holding so aggressive. Samsky is first casualty on this attempt to sack. Is he going to play sniper? Maybe, but look at Banny and Ali. They're just peeking at the shutter door, trying to get some spam out of the medic. Silentes dies. He was trying to maybe going for Babs, and now Ast is the next casualty. 2 down on Swift side. Maybe that's the time to push if you're Ascent. Looks like they want to go from top left, maybe with Sorex and Polygon.
Uber is going to be forced off. Anyone, Polygon taking the Uber right into the face of Ali. Going to jug him out of the way. Raptor skybox and then lands down the Uber. Following up around is Banny getting on top of Credu. Let's get that pick, but they don't know about Samsky, who is currently on the spine. He's going to be going for a back cap here. Elakor is going to sack himself to the the face of Ali. Ali going to get that cleanup pick. And Samsky is waiting in the corner for the back cap. All it takes is 2 seconds. They have no idea, and it's already a quarter of the way capped. He's going to get onto the point. He's going to be finishing off the cap any second now. Banny's rushing to the point, but it's not fast enough.
So close.
And a back cap from Ascent, thanks to Samsky, is going to take the first round, even things up. It is looking very dangerous for Swift. That is a rookie mistake.
Actually, Banny was so close to contesting the point.
Very close.
I think
I was
one
so amazed.
centimeter, and now it's 1-1, and maybe no one expected that beside me, because you know, I take the bets. But yeah, that's 1-1, and that's a third mid of this map. Can Ascent put it off again and win a mid, or will Bani and his teammate just react and just be the powerhouse they expect to be? Where's Ali? Ali is going the underpass once again. That's his favorite position. Or is he? No, he's on cargo while Elacore is on the underpass. The Demoman are going to meet on the middle, on the right side near the crate. Bani is going really aggressive over the front. Silentes double bombing, but he gets rocket into the air. He gets 4 bombs, gets 1 rocket, but that was really close. He gets finally cleaned up. But in the meantime, what a work from Ali. Gets like everyone else with the pipes and stickies, and that's another meet for Swift. And they're so aggressive. Look at the scouts. They don't cap. They just went for Babs. Like no cap time. Just get the frags. That's some pug action right there.
I think I understand what Swift is going for here with this super aggressive where they're not even finishing off the cap. Because of how this map is laid out, it's so easy to get to second. They want to shut it out so that there's no chance of the defending team to get out of their last, because once they just block them into their last, all they have to worry about is having their scouts, who are on the respawn anyway, just pick up the caps and then move on. So
yeah,
right there, that aggression is very warranted for a map like this that makes it so hard for the defending team to work their way out.
And now Raptor sits on a 100% Ascent. The Uber is used onto Ali, who's going deep into the spawn door. Bani is following him. The sentry gun might be an issue for Swift, while El could actually some stickies from Ali. And now this is going to be an even fight, even though the Demoman is dead. Bani is going really deep onto Babs. And in the meantime, Ali just getting some more frags for his logs. Can they win this? They have heals. It's 3v4. Polygon is another casualty in Akredu. And that was a so well executed push from Swift, like ruthless and without mercy for Ascent.
Absolutely no mercy. That's how it goes here at the I-61 LAN. Ast having a little bit of a spin battle in the spawn there while we wait for this little preemptive talk. What do you think Ascent is talking about right now?
They need to find a way to shut down Ali on mid, because he's doing so much damage. There's so much room for his team. Like the soldiers are bombing, and no one looks at Ali, and Ali is just like walking over and pounding nerds all like easily. Like he's playing an open game. So yeah, they need to find a way to shut down Ali.
Yeah, I'm noticing here at the mid rollout, Ali is getting there so much faster. Elacore was practically walking all the way to the first entrance before he can make his way in. We do see Silentes once again with the double bomb. Going to be going onto the slope. Juggles Babs into the air. A little side shot onto the wall is not going to be able to clean up Babs, and she's going to stay alive for just a moment longer. Grabbing that health pack is going to be huge because now they have this number advantage. Working their way to the point now. So Samsky going to be catching out Ali any second now. Nice pipe from Elacore, going to be cleaning that up. And as a result, we do see Bani coming back in with 300 health. Wants to contest this a little bit, but he's going to get met with some opposition from Crady, who's juggling around, dancing as much as he can. Bani's following up on the Babs, getting way too much time here, but finally gets cleaned up by the pistol. Ast was able to pick up on the Samsky, who was rushing forward in the second point, but he got taken down. So now Swift are going to have to defend in the second, and they have such a huge numbers disadvantage right now.
It looks each Raptor wants to contest. So it's like 2 minutes for each team now. Like they're answering to each other right after the other. It's interesting to see that Hassan doesn't give up, even though they're being they were kind of crushed on the previous round. But they're still there. They still want to contest this. Ubers are exactly the same, and Kredu is on sniper, so it's not up to the Finnish sniper to make magic happen.
Crady put in some excellent work on the Essentials One Night Cup earlier this week on Sunday. That was my first chance to check him out, and he was just doing so phenomenally well as a scout. Didn't get to see him on Sniper that much, but we do see Elacore clearing the way on the left side. Notices Ast, and Bani is actually very close, hiding up top, very close by. So if Elacore strays just too far, Crady might even stray a little too far. He's hopped up onto the little water gallon tank there, and Bani drops down onto Sorex, able to get the frag, but it's immediately retaliated by Elacore. And so that 1-for-1 exchange.
Oh, but they're getting flanked by Silentes and Samsy, who just walked under. No one was checking them. They got 2 fragged in the person of Elacore and Kredu. And now the Uber doesn't look really good for Polygon and Bab. They have to use it and get off as soon as they can. Looks like Bab is escaping from Toxic, but Raptor hasn't been forced. And now the fight is looking really unbalanced in favor of Swift.
But Samsky has managed to hide himself under the staircase just outside of the main entryway. And once this recap happens, if he manages to stay there, he could potentially catch a player out. I don't know if anyone has a check for it. They are rotating over to the slope, so Samsky is on the wrong side of the map. But he is in a good position right now because they're wrapping in front of him. He hears the call. He's going to be walking forward onto Raptor. Drops him right away. Very good flank by Samsky. And now he's going to be following up on the Ast. He sees him on the point, trying to get the rockets, but he's done enough damage. That's all he needed to do. And he still wins the fight, beats Ast down. and Banny was the last player alive in the lobby. It's almost a full wipe, just Silentes, and all I can see him is above the staircase. He's just been spotted out by Elikor, and he's going to be calling out for his teammates to clean up on him. Polygon is pincering on him right now. He's getting juggled in the air, and Sorex cleans him up. What a great turnaround by Ascent.
That was so savage. When you're Swift there, you don't expect, you have 100% at Uber, you don't expect to lose this round, but the play by Samsky, well followed by the rest of his teammate, just flipped the situation in favor of Ascent, and now they are the one pushing with the Uber ad. Babs is sitting on a full Uber, completely ready. The As getting quite aggressive onto Elikor. This play is quite questionable, and now, if they put some cap time, Ascent might as well just push on last and use these Uber ads.
Uber ad is absolutely massive right now, and Ali has no sticky traps, just a carpet of stickies that are getting cleared out. They're pushing their way to the left side. Eyes on Banny now. They want to pop right away, take out the main fragging class. Banny is going to jump away and get out just in time. No! A cleanup. Sticky is going to pick up Elikor. Thanks to Elikor there. Trying to clear the point. The stickies have been blown off the point. They are jumping onto the point, grabbing as much cat time as they can while keeping up the spam. Samsky dropping down onto Ali, follows it up with Raptor. No heals on the side of Swift. It's just both scouts, and Samsky's down to low health. Babs grabs an arrow, and it's going to go for the saw, trying to clean it up. Sorex with the pistol, and that's going to be the round. Tying it up once again, 2 to 2.
1v1. Sorex.
Banny jumped in.
Italy versus America.
3 HP. Finally. Oh my goodness.
So to be fair to Swift, there are 5 because Silentes dropped off the server, but still, that's 2-2 for Ascent, and I'm gonna repeat myself, but this is unexpected, and I'm not saying that because the previous team name of Ascent wasn't expected. I mean, 2-2 after 50 minutes. Not many of us could have seen that coming.
Absolutely incredible work. I actually spoke at a turn. I thought it was so guaranteed, but then Banny respawned just in time. Almost won that fight when Sorex was beefing his shots just a tiny little bit. But thankfully that 8 damage chip
so
shot.
we shouldn't say that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We don't want to be negative.
Yeah,
I was the one who told you that.
Yeah, exactly.
We shouldn't be talking about the negatives. We should be talking about the positives.
So look at the positive. What a close game.
Yeah, this is a very close game.
2-2,
Ascent bringing it back.
Even though Swift were 5, I think the push was quite well executed from Ascent. They went with the demo onto the going deep with the charge, trying to get some frags. They got Banny really early though. But then I don't know. Maybe some focus targets were wrongly made. The fight dragged forever, and when you play versus such DM powerhouse such as Ali and Ast and Samsy, the more the fight drags along, the more it's getting hard for you. So in the end, it's kind of lucky that Sorex take it home, but I think Ascent deserve it because the play on their second point was completely amazing when they completely cleaned up Swift. It
was an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, like I thought I was like going to be 3-1 for Swift, but now it's 2-2. So yeah, again, a really nice flip of the situation. So I have no idea what happened to Silentes. Apparently he timed out, so I'm assuming we're just going to wait for him to come back. This is what our pauses are for. Isn't that the first pauses of the LAN? This
is the first pause of the LAN. It's tradition that if you don't have a pause every day, the ghost of killing from ESEA.
We don't want that. Thank you, Silentes. You saved the day.
Yeah, Silentes prevented the legend of ESEA killing.
Silentes is such a nice guy. Always thinking about others, you know. But yeah, so we have half time now. 15 minutes left on the map. Each team won 2 mids, so it's like really the most fair fight you could even have. And in really different ways. Ascent was playing way more cautious on picks and all, and Swift was just led by Banny, just jumping all over the place. And Scouts and Ali, everyone was so aggressive. Like everyone was playing W all the time. So it's really like a kind of a clash of gameplay. And it's interesting to see that. Yeah, it's really fair so far. Maybe the map does it. Actually, maybe
I 100% agree with you there. One of the main things I've seen with some really top teams competing against other teams that are roughly in the same level. When it comes to these wildcard maps, is what I like to call it, Sunshine, Reckoner, newer maps that players don't have that foundation for. It's a lot harder for players to do their absolute best because there are just some little finesse things that go differently. Like I guarantee you, no one was thinking that someone could be hiding near the midpoint when it came time, when they were rotating through and Samsky was hiding by the staircase.
Yeah, probably,
nobody would have thought that there was anything in that room because it's just not that familiar of a map. But now we are finally finished with this STV and this delay. We're going to be going live very shortly now. They're doing their quick pep talk after the pause, so I'm sure they have plenty of things that they've already discussed. Going to this next mid, we're going to be seeing... who do you think is going to do well this mid?
Ali's been incredible ever since the map began, so I'm expecting the switchers the moment to just like lay stickies and pipe all over the place. So let's take a look at him.
Right now at this midpoint, we do see Ali getting to the point much, much faster, trying to get a sticky onto the slope. Is able to get a little bit of eyes onto the players. He spots out the demo and calls it out for his team. A follow-up bomb from Banny is going to be pressuring them. Also, Polygon gets air shot by Banny there. Could not get in there, and a follow-up bomb from Banny is going to be clipping off the side of the little spire thing happening at the midpoint. And he's chasing down the scout, but unable to make it happen here. Waiting for the point, but thankfully, Swift will be able to take this midpoint.
Polygon got air shot, but he got Raptor in the process, so I don't know. It sounds like a fair trade.
I didn't even see Raptor die.
So,
what?
Yeah, he was the first casualty of the mid from what I assume was a really deep bomb from Polygon. So now Babs is sitting on a 100% Uber ad, and if they're being careful and cautious as they have been so far, this could be a mid for Ascent. But Sorex dies quite early into the fight, and
Banny's flanking around right now. He's dropping down underneath. He has spotted out the players, but they were backing off already. So Banny just misses out on an opportunity to catch the players as they were backing up. And as a result, they have full advantage, and they're playing a man down. They're playing careful, but they're going to be losing this advantage if they don't move in time.
Yeah, I'm afraid that now they're being a bit too cautious, a bit too. That's what happens when you play versus a team that you know are better than you. You really don't want to make any mistakes, and sometimes the mistake is to be
not
scared.
believing in yourself.
Yeah, the mistake is not trying not to make one. So I think this is really the case now, because look at Raptor, he's already at 70%. 30 yard is still big enough to push on this. But
yes,
if you look at Ascent, they're just happy to sit on their second, and I'm not quite happy with that. But what can I say? In the end, we can understand the decision, but it's a wrong one there.
It's a lot harder in the land setting to know when those Uber advantages are in your favor. And as a result, we're going to be reaching our first stalemate of Reckoner. Now, how does mid and second stalemating work? We didn't see this much of this earlier.
It's a really, really hard stalemate to break. So, like the cargo area where Banny is standing right now is getting spammed out all the time. And if you want to try to go for Toxic, where Silentis is standing right now, you've been seen from really far. So you can't really surprise anyone except from the underpass. But it's usually being checked, so... but look, Silentis somehow managed to get in and force the Uber onto Babs. She flashes many people into it, trying to get forced into Raptor. Finally, the other awesome medic on the server finally uses it, and everyone from Ascent is able to leave, so it's really good for them. They managed to have 0 casualty, even though their trade wasn't really good. And maybe they're going to go for it. Look at Eloquent Sorex, they're going for the point. Helaqua's jumping in, has stickies, double bomb from the soldiers. Raptor dies as well, so is Banny. And Ali is now under by himself. He can get cleaned up, so he is by his other demo man of the server. And once again, what a flip of the situation from Ascent.
Right there, when Ascent was backcapping mid, just briefly, they actually managed to draw Silentis and Samsy back, and as a result, they were out of the fray while the rest of their team pushed forward. Swift was jumping in, and then they cleaned house. Really good plays from Sorex, getting all the kills, playing that pocket scout role. And now they dropped into mid, killed Samsy and Silentis, and now they're moving into second with full ad and 2 numbers.
And they're trying to go from green. Danny with the T-bomb trying to go for Bab, but she's being cautious and stays under. She's getting piped, so she has to be wary now not to get into any more damage. Looks like they still have the Uber ad, and if they're going to be quick, they succeed in their last 2 pushes, so maybe the 3rd time the charm.
And now we do see Samsy playing that defensive sniper role. But there aren't a lot of sightlines outside of the jumping classes or players that actually genuinely walk into the last area. We do see they're working to the right to the point. Sorex is on the cap. Bandy jumps in, 2 shots, takes him down, but he's going to get cleaned up by Credu at any moment now. Please, Credu finally takes that shot, and the cap is all but a certain. And there we go. Ascent takes the lead against Swift.
It's the first time of the map that they're ahead, and then again, we can only say anything but bravo to the play the way they played, like cautious gameplay, really well team, like beautiful team cohesion. The way they fight the second point once again was admirable, and it's only fair that they're in the lead, to be honest.
So now we're back here, 3-2 lead from Ascent, looking to bring the first upset of the LAN, which will be Ascent, a relatively new Prem team, against Swift, the powerhouse of this LAN. Ali now getting up the slope. taking shots over to the cargo area, holding off that area. It's not going to be doing any work, though, because Polygon jumps onto the crate, is not able to connect there. But Ali takes down Elikor, and now with Elikor down, Ali's just walking forward, no fear whatsoever. Kredu with the pickaxe, going to be able to take down, or get taken down. Silentes had the pickaxe, the equalizer.
What a response. What a heavy response from Swift. Like Bani and Silentes, as soon as they arrived to me, they jumped into the combo and tried to do as much damage as they could have, and that was quite successful. And now they're already on last. Look at Bani, he's just climbing from top trying to deny any maybe crit heal from Babs, and it's gonna be another big Uber hat for one of the medics, Raptor this time, and now it's gonna be Bani trying to make it tie 3-3 with what we could expect to be a well-executed push.
They are currently working their way towards mid. No, they've decided to wrap around once again. Ali getting the first sticky, jumping in, trying to catch off the medic. The medic is already in the spawn. Now working his way over to the point. He does manage to pick up poor Sorex there, and now Elikor sitting on the point, spamming stickies as much as he can. Just slow down these players, put out some damage. But almost all the players are alive. Samsky now, once again, another casualty. Silentes gets down very low on HP, waiting for an arrow, is able to take it, and now it's going to be reinitiating onto the point. Elikor gets taken down. It's only Kredu alive with the help of the medic. Can he get onto the point? No, pistol down from Ast, and that's going to be the round. Swift, immediate response to Ascent.
This is really impressive. Like both teams, they don't doubt. They have no doubt. They just go in and play the way their plan, and it works wonders. One round after the other. So one round for Swift, one round for Ascent, and this one was again such DM heavy in favor of Swift. Silentes never dying thanks to the arrows of Raptor, and the mid was so impressive. I'm expecting to see the same one in like a few seconds.
Yeah, I really want to see what the soldiers can do to give way for Ali to just casually walk up to the players and start shooting them, cleaning them up. Right now we do see Elikor getting to the midpoint, walking up the right side, does spot out the scout, and Silentes going for his double bomb. He's been doing it every single round, and he's going to get arrowed actually, and then finally cleaned up by Kredu, but unfortunately it was too little too late because Elikor has died, and so has Polygon. So with both of their major damaging classes out of the picture, Swift are going to be taking the midpoint, and Ascent are backing up almost all the way to their lobby and last.
Yeah,
what is this?
At least this time they fell back in time. Previous mid, everyone died. It was a complete wipe. Now they still have their medics, so the Ubers are going to be even. So maybe the pace will slow down a bit, and Ascent will actually be able to hold on his last for more than 10 seconds. I'm expecting, yeah, Kredu is already on the engineer. His sentry has worked wonders so far, so I'm expecting it to work again. Ali is going for his infamous double bomb onto the medic. He's getting airshot by, I think he got airshot by Polygon, and he dies in the end. So this is going to be some bad luck to Mr. Ali Boy, but in the end, I think you don't really care.
Yeah, like you said, you can just throw your Demo Man, one of the key classes in TF2, at last, and there's no punishment for it. They can't push out. It's just, we got to wait for Ali to mess up so hard. But eventually, Swift is going to get a little anxious because sending in a Demo Man and no one else to follow up is going to make it a little bit harder for them to get a kill. Bani, though, is able to pick up on the Samsky there. I didn't even see what was happening. He was just peeking into the lobby, able to get that frag, and Silentes is so low on health. Going to get arrowed up on the lobby. But Ali doing the double bomb once again. Stickies on top of Sorex Babs. Absolutely no fear whatsoever. Takes the Stickies like a champ.
She's just looking at Ali when he's jumping like, hey, I'm not going to use it. You can try any time you want. I'm not going to use on that, so... again, the nerf from the medic, and now it's the time for Ascent not to make the rookie mistake of trying to re-push out of this. Again, it's really hard to push out of this. They tried once and they lost a round, so now they got to be cautious and really patient, trying maybe to get more than one frag on the sack from Ali, and then only they can think about re-pushing, but now this is not enough.
Ali's asking for that buff, going to be getting in position once again. He's putting the sticky down, doing the double jump, takes his little wiggle in there, but the sentry is on him. He throws the pipe.
Bab's so weak, she's 7 HP, she doesn't use it. But she dropped 2 spam rocket from Silentes.
Silentes with the follow-up, that's exactly what they needed. The intense damage from Ali hitting that pipe before getting air pipe by Elikor, and then the follow-up spam pipe, or spam rocket from Silentes is going to clean that up. Polygon now also getting taken down. That's 2 players down and no medic. This is the recipe for a push.
It's really hard to blame her because obviously she should have used because she dropped, but no, let's talk about it later. Uber has been used quite early by Raptor. Well, there's nothing worth using, but now Silentes died. The Uber has been used for kind of no reason, and now Bani and Polygon are probably going to trade. No, actually, Polygon stays alive, and it could be quite a good fight for for Ascent if they manage to focus the targets. Everyone is weak on the side of Swift. Samsi on top right. He's on sliver of HP. He finally dies. SCT is only 100 now. He's getting hit by Raptor. It's 3v3 and Ascent's gonna have some respawn if they can kite the fight forever. Samski is up now and Credo will be the next opponent in 3 seconds. So they're just gonna have to kite it. And they're actually doing that. And now the Ubers are exactly the same once again.
Great equalizer, slowing things down for the respawns. That made it really tough for Swift to retake this round. It is still 3-3. That drop was their opening, but they couldn't capitalize on it in that follow-up push. And now, even Ubers on both sides. Players waiting at their respective areas. There's nothing here. There's no sniper play from Swift. They're just going with the send Ali in, send Solentis in after.
So will Ali try again? Looks like he's setting up the situation so he can do his double sticky move. He's doing it. He's going super fast on 2-5. He's getting air shot again, and both by the Soul and by Elacor. So once again, see you later, my man. I think Babs went kind of uncattered in this fight. So yeah, going back on the Babs drop, I think it's like both situations are understandable. She juked Ali 3 times before that drop, so maybe in her head it's okay. I mean, I understand the fact that you don't want to use on that, and when you think about it, Silento's rocket was only a spam rocket. He wasn't even committing to it, so it's kind of a lucky shot. Some will say she had to use, some will say she made the right play. In the end, her team didn't even lose it, so I would say she made the right play, and it's really hard to blame a medic for trying to be risky in this situation. I would have dropped it either way, and I think many would have.
Ali with the follow-up bomb, going to be getting around the corner. Once again, Elacor is not popping his sticky trap. He has it set up, but he's not hit it one single time. Every time Ali jumps in, it's on the pillars there to deny him from coming in. But in the end, Elacor still just hits the air pipe because that's what the people want to see. They don't want to see a prediction sticky trap. They want to see the air pipes.
Now it's Silento's turn to try to commit onto Babs, but it's doing it's just jumping onto Sorex in the gun from Credo, so it's not to no avail. It looks like Swift is just happy to send Ali's body all over again all the time and see if he actually can get Babs. I mean, he did it once, so maybe why not twice. And when you're Ascent now, it's really, really hard to repush because, you know, with only 3 minutes and 40 seconds, you know that if you fail your push and you get the round taken from you, it's going to be really hard to come back into it. So, again, they have to play cautious, and it's really hard to blame them for that.
Banny now getting a little bit more out of his comfort zone, playing very far on the right side.
He's on Spy.
Oh, we do have a Spy action going on, but players are totally aware of it. They're just spamming corners all left and right. He's going to decloak right away into the face of the medic, but he's immediately going to get dropped by Samski there.
What?
No, Ali was actually following up with that Spy play and got taken down now with 2 players down. Sorix is going to be rushing to the shutter, getting eyes on Banny, but no, he decides to back off. Sorix on an 8 kill streak playing that pocket scout. We do see Samski coming in, getting so much damage on the Raptor. Raptor doesn't pop. He takes a rocket to the face and has no fear whatsoever. Banny's going to clean that up, and now with 2 kills in his belt, he's going to be working his way to the main area. They're going to be popping any second now because a 2-man advantage is all they need to work their way to this point.
And Banny and Raptor are making their way through the right side. The Sentry is taken down before even using the Uber. And look at Banny is going really aggressive onto the left side now. The Uber hasn't been used on either side. And it's going to be a spam fest right now. Polygon is the first casualty. And Babs has to use the Uber because she's really weak. And Trade is coming with Raptor and Asps and Banny. There's a lot of people in the Uber. Can Ascent do it? But Sorix dies, no scout, and it of course dead as well. This is looking really grim for Ascent. And this should be a round for Swift. And yeah, this is the 4-3 to Ascent. Again, I said that pushing out of last was risky, and even though when you want to try to sack for the medic, I think with the time remaining on the timer, that was kind of a mistake from Samski. But again, it's LAN. It's really hard to. We don't know everything that's going on in each team mumbles.
Right now, there is only 2 minutes left in this round, so Ascent has to take this mid and keep the aggression up if they want to tie things up and take their map win for the seeding purposes. We do see Ali going once again very fast to the mid rollout, can be very low in health, but picks up that mid pack on the slope. Takes a shot over to the opposing slope, and is going to be able to call out the players coming out through cargo. Right now, we're going to be seeing some initiation. Ali solo on health, going to be immediately cleaned up by Polygon with a follow-up bomb from Samski, but he's also going to get taken down. And Babs dies to Solentis over on the side. Elacor able to pick up onto both the soldiers now, so it's basically both scouts and a demo versus both scouts and a medic.
Yeah, there was a double bomb. The double bomb from Swift went for the medic, while the double bomb from Ascent went for the demo man, and now it looks like the one from Swift was better because Woo! But Sorex is in with Crow, maybe trying to go. As dies from a nice pipe from Elokor, and can he do it again? Can he get the other one? Can he get Samzi? Samzi's falling really weak, like under 90 HP. But unfortunately, this is it, and only 1 minute 14 seconds. This is looking really hard for Ascent now to come back into this game.
It's not over yet. I do have a good feeling about this. Right now, the players are getting to position. Samsky once again in his. We're going to be calling this the Samsky room by the end of this tournament. This is his bread and butter. Is sitting on this staircase, and nobody has seen him. So he's going to get a clean shot. Samsky doesn't even see him. Finally, does call it out. He's going to get eyes on it. He bombs onto Raptor, gets it into the face of it, but no pop. Raptor with nerves of steel. Not going to be forced here. Now they're going to be working their way into the lobby, trying to take their 5th round of this best of 2 map series. First map of the series so
they're
far.
going into Uber Albinion onto Bani onto the left side. Everyone on the Kuma onto Swift is on the left side. The sentry has been taken down by the rocket from Silentes, and now the Raptor dies to a nice aggression from Polygon, and he trades with the medic. Silentes dies as well, so it's only 20 seconds. They can't fight back. It's only about DM and logs now. Who's gonna be the last man standing? Apparently it's not gonna be Samsey because he's dead, and neither is Amps gonna be the lucky winner. Apparently, Ascent wins this fight for nothing, maybe for pride and honor, and that's something.
So that will be it. Swift, against the adversity of a 3-2 lead from Ascent, are going to hold on to the round for just a moment and come back to make it 4-3 and take the map. So Swift maintained there. As far as I know, I have actually the bracket right here. Swift should be undefeated still, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Swift is undefeated so far.
So they can still lose a map, but that would just be a tie in the end. So yeah, they're undefeated when it comes to series. But I think when you're from the outsider point of view, you expect Swift to have take this map more comfortably versus Ascent.
Absolutely.
Well, even more when you consider the Ascent just stuck.
So we're gonna pass it over to our analyst because what do we know?
Exactly, we're just casters.
Yeah, we're just casters.
I think you know plenty, personally, but, we're here also. Let's start with the very obvious thing, which is when we talked about that matchup, we thought it would be very one-sided, and then it wasn't at all. We were saying, wow, Ascent might win this map. How does that happen? And that's the job you have to describe.
Yeah, well, I think obviously, to look at it, you would expect Swift to just come in and pound. Obviously, Ascent they're not looking, you wouldn't expect them to be as strong as they were even over the last season, losing such a fundamental player as Zadisky.
Yep.
But clearly on this map, they show they've still got a decent amount of fight to them. I think fundamentally, a lot of the game came down to the mids. Really strong mids. Pem was saying about it on Reckoner. Really strong mids, especially when you can get the medic secure, an Uber advantage, puts you in such a good position when attacking the enemy last. Obviously, we saw for, I don't know, it must have been about 100, 200 times the famous Ali DreamHack strat.
Yeah.
Where they have such a confident hold on second, and it's such a difficult push for Ascent or for Swift at times to push out onto second, that you can just keep making whatever kind of play you want over and over onto the last, knowing that. Well, you saw Ascent was unable to push out, even with 2 people advantages, with more health, more this, more that. It just basically wasn't really able to happen.
Yeah.
I think the key thing for Swift's mids is that the mids where they won were basically just where they ran forward and made the most of their DM-centric players and playstyle.
Yeah.
They just went off, they took the aggression. There were some huge bombs from Silentes who... Not only, he's doing huge damage on his mids, that he's just distracting them so much. It was kind of interesting to see how Ascent played the mids compared to when they played Snakewater earlier, because they'd frequently send their soldiers to double bomb on Snakewater, and their med would play super passive. That didn't so much happen with the soldier bombs, but they still tried to keep their medic reasonably passive, which played directly into Silentes' jumps, basically.
Yeah.
That sloped kind of grassy bit. Silentes could catch them almost every single time.
Mm-hmm. We can sort of interrupt. We can pull up the logs here to have a look, so the viewers have something to look at as well. I felt like the explosive classes on Swift were all like, we talked about Ali on last, but Ali was pounding on mids, the successful mids that they had. But the soldiers, too, I mean, just with their aggression, like, it felt like I was watching, like, a TF2 training video or something of, like, a perfect mid or something. Like, they were very aggressive. Like, how did you see the mids?
Yeah, I think Salentes was.
Need to move that closer.
I think Salentes was really instrumental in the mid fights. Actually, with I think actually every mid he did that double bomb.
Yes.
Right over. And I think what happened is actually he was really clever because it meant the Ascent players were all looking at him. I think it basically he took 6 eyes.
Yeah.
All 6 players from Ascent are standing in Valley, and everyone was looking at him. And it just allowed all the other players from Swift just to walk over the point and just absolutely just crush him. And I think he did this every single mid, and Ascent didn't have an answer for it, I don't think. I think they tried a couple times, and it worked. It worked when they tried, but most of the time they just didn't have an answer. And there was one thing I really wanted to see from Ascent, was something to counter this alley bomb.
Yeah.
Because Swift did it at least, 5, 6, 7 times in a row.
And the same with the Salentes double bomb, like you
Yeah,
said. It's
yeah.
like they're doing the same thing over and over and
Yeah.
just, like, daring Ascent to, like, find a way to deal with it.
It was really predictable play from Swift.
But it
this
worked.
map, but it worked.
Yeah.
And I think that's because Ascent didn't recognize this, and actually there are counters to this alley bomb,
Yeah.
as we call it now. But they just kind
famous
of
alley bomb.
they just kind of sat there and said, yeah, go on, just keep bombing us, and eventually it works. And that's Reckoner. That's this last point now, I think.
Other thoughts? I know there were a lot of notes. I mean, there's not much to glean from the logs. It was very close. I mean, there were a lot of moments where we were sitting there like, Ascent are going to do this. And, I mean, it's encouraging if you're a fan of Ascent. It's encouraging if you're a player of Ascent.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that they come out of this map now, like, feeling, like, even better? Like, really kind of more confident, just given how they just gave Swift a run for their money?
I think the impressive bit to kind of take into account is obviously we've talked about everything more or less from a Swift point of view, where they seemed to be very in control, very confident like their usual play, but it still was an incredibly close game. It still could have gone Ascent's way. So I think it's just quite impressive from Ascent that they managed to actually go within a round of Swift when Swift are playing a game where they seem so in control. It kind of shows that this very DM heavy, very aggressive playstyle where, they walk at people, where Swift, they take the advantage to push off of the tiniest little things to get people through on the flank, it does leave you open. And you saw, there was obviously one backup, there was a lot of kind of scrappy fights, there was one really incredibly good repush from Ascent got pushed just into lobby and repushed second just as Banny came to flank behind them, and like watching it, we completely didn't expect it from Ascent, because before that they'd been playing kind of quite spooked, quite scared. A couple times they kind of tried to push and they'd lose a player and they wouldn't quite know how to deal with it. They wasted about a 6-minute advantage at some point, and then suddenly about 10 minutes in they make this epic repush play, and they suddenly gained the confidence, and I think that was kind of a turning point. I think when you play against a team like Swift, where they're so confident, you've got to play with a decent level of confidence yourself, because if you're constantly trying to play on the back foot, then I don't think that's ever going to work against Swift. You have to be proactive. You can't
not reactive.
You can't just sit there and let the same bomb happen over and over.
Right.
Granted, it kept it close, but after a certain point, you got to think they would have had much more chances to actually get more rounds if they'd tried to do something themselves, not just try to minimize what Ali was doing.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we've got a map here now that has another possible big middle double bomb. It's going to be Gully Wash. We're going to kick it over to the casters. They're about ready to go, boys.
Thank you for that, Getaway. Ombrack, you need to put your mic down.
Hello, Hearth. Do you copy?
Yes, Roger. We have contact. So, goalie wash.
Yeah, goalie
This
wash.
is my bread and butter. It's the only thing I can say I'm good at as far as demo man rollouts. I get to the mid at roughly the same time as any pro. That's my legacy.
So it's the first time we see goalie wash today, you say. I guess. We'll deal with it. We can't really say we want to see another map. So I think everyone is asking the same question now. Was it like...
was it a fluke?
Yeah. Was it like pure luck, or is
Was it the
Ascent
map?
actually able to be a good team and maybe be Swift, or maybe be an actual contenders to whatever's going to happen to them for the rest of the LAN? Again, analysts, they talked about how mid was important, how double bombs was very important, and Gully Wash is such a important mid when it comes to double bomb because you don't see the soldier coming and they can make all the difference.
Soldiers have a lot of options between the drop down and jumping off the rock through the big door. We're going to be seeing Elikor getting to the mid roughly the same time as the other Demoman Ali, working his way to cut off the big door entrance, getting those stickies. I don't see any initiation now. Banny going for a double skip, wrapping around. He's going to get on top of Babs, but he's going to get taken out by Elikor right away. Polygon the other exchange on the side of both soldiers going down at the hands of the Demoman, and Salentes is in a position to work his way up the banana. He sees Samsky underneath, and the positioning is so scarce. Everyone is playing so passive right now. No one's initiating. We do see Kratos getting in the face of Ali. Ali on the floor, so low on health, finally gets killed. And Samsky's going to get the retaliation frag, but at what cost? Because they do not have the positioning. And Ascent might be able to take this nice pipe from Elikor onto Ass, who's going to be pressured all the way back. They have the Uber ready. They look like they want to fight it. Bandy's getting through the choke right away. Polygon is going to get taken out by Ass. Falls to his death thanks to the push force of the scattergun into the floor.
Oh, what a bomb from Banny! He just jumped across the point and 2 rockets on Bab were enough to do the trick. He died so early on to mid. He had the time to come back. The mid fight wasn't even over, and finally he's the one like giving it to his team. So really impressive play by the American soldier. And the first mid, you said it was very long and really indecisive, but in the end, Swift takes it.
That was an absolutely crucial turning point. Banny taking down the medic there. You see Sentry is actually really close to the sneaky entrance. Sam's going to go right for it, take it down. Doesn't even take it down, so the Sentry's going to stay alive for just a moment longer. Finally, Ali throws a fadeaway sticky to take it down. But Polygon is above the point, getting pressured by Samsy. So much damage. He gets down very low. Kratos going to clean that up, and Ali is rotated underneath. He's going to meet up with Kratos, who is out for blood. 1 HP on Ali. He's going to be getting out through the... No, Sorex will not let that happen. And with 2 players down, it's much easier to push out a Gully Wash last when you have a numbers advantage and no Demo Man.
Yeah, and now all they have to do is put pressure on the captain. Aston and Barney are just looking, peeking through the big door, trying to get some early damage that in the end, Elikor is just gonna shut down this opening and maybe rotate to the choke. But look at Barney, he's just walking in uncontested. He can get Samsky with some sniper, and he goes for Samsky, yeah, actually, and he's probably gonna get Fredo as well. Nice flank from Barney. No one could challenging him, and it's looking really, really dire for Ascent. Now Barney is still up there, causing havoc into the backline, but now both soldiers are dead through the work of Elikor and Polygon, I think it was, and yes. Now Ascent can work kind of freely through the middle. Kratos is on sniper this time, and this is going to be a reset on second point from Ascent. Ubers are the same, and they're going to wait for their sniper to do some magic again.
But that's because Samsy is behind, and nobody noticed. He worked his way through the big door in the lower shutter and has an opportunity to peek his way through, but Polygon is not going to let any of that happen. Nice little follow-up rocket from Samsky to clean that up. Samsky gets taken down, and now the action is back over at the choke, where we do see Kratos on that sniper getting a charged shot, trying to get that angle. You can see the dot all the way at elbow on the other side of the map. Trying to get this angle. Nobody's going to peek it though. Bab's going to be coming in with the Uber, forcing off against Raptor, against the Sorex. Sorex making a good decision there, but he's going to get cleaned up by Ali, not letting him escape. Bab's getting a lot of pressure now from the follow-up bomb. It's Ali jumping towards the shutter, going to cut off the escape route, and Babs is just juking as much as he can. Elikor trying to throw some extra help in there. Raptor gets taken out by Kratos, who was on the SMG, but finally Ali is able to take on Babs, and now all the demo men are down. It's Samsky getting air shot by Ali there. And so Swift have taken the second point, and Banny's working his way through River.
And they should probably take the round. We've seen Ascent playing so cautiously so far, and that push on choke was kind of questionable. Yeah, that's the round, but I wonder why they decided to push the choke. The Ubers were the same, and only Samsy was a casualty on the Swift side, so they have to play this the same way they did on Reconer. They have to play like casually, not casually, cautiously, sorry, and cautiously, and just wait for Swift to make some mistake that are bound to happen anyway. So I think they just need to maybe take a breath and chill a bit and realize that they can do it if they play their game.
Going into our second mid fight of this round. Get eyes on Ali as he gets the choke. Roughly a good time. Sees some players coming out of the big door. Sees follow-up bomb from Banny onto Babs. An immediate hop, skip, and a jump is able to take that down, but Kratos is got his eyes on Salentes. Sorex is getting behind him, but Salentes is still alive. He's going for the Equalizer cannot get that frag, and Sorks is going to stay alive for just a moment longer. And on the other side of the choke point, both the soldiers have done a lot of work to take down Ast as well as Banny.
Again, Banny once again stepping up into his mid, like that skip jump over mid. He did it the first time, it didn't quite work out, but this time Babs was already injured and only one rocket wasn't enough to take down the Austrian medic. Raptor lived, so now the Uber is in the hand of Swift, and Ascent gotta play really carefully if they don't want to get caught off guard on mid and maybe try to repush. As Ali, the Uber is used on Big Down to Ali and Ast really deep, but Samsky is the only one dying onto the Swift side. It's really with Uber. Samsky is traded with Banny, and now the Uber ad is in the end of Babs. They can just hold choke there and watch for the aggression that is, I think, going to happen at some point.
I feel like it's been ages since we've seen an actual leapfrog situation at a high level. We do see Babs with that full advantage is going to be pushing their way back into the midpoint. Swift need to force off this Uber, or at least pressure them so that they can at least once again leapfrog back. But they're going to be working their way in through the big door. They might not need to push here, but they are going to want to be careful here. They're popping right away. They want to go for the med Raptor, but Raptor's already out of the choke. Follow-up bomb from Polygon getting into the big door, but Banny's going to jump out of the danger zone. And Salentes gets destroyed by an air sticky there. Elicor going to be rotating over to the choke point to prepare for this leapfrog once again.
Yeah, another flip of the situation. They Swift push from big door, Babs got the Uber, Babs push from big door, and now Swift has the Uber again, so they are gotta be careful because yeah, they're walking through choke right now. They want to use this Uber ad, but the combo of Ascent is already far back into Samsky. Is dying at Koi. I assume he's going to trade the sack, but nice sticky trap from Melako taking down Ali. That's a huge pick in the favor of Ascent. And maybe they can kite the Uber that has been used by Raptor. As going really deep into the choke, but he's on his own. Banny's just going now. And with Credu down, it's going to be really hard for Ascent to defend it, unless Elafor hits some nice stickies, which he's trying to do on Banny over the point. But look at everyone from the red side. They're coming in, both Sorax and Polygon with a really deep jump, helped by the Uber. They getting asked, and Sorax got a bit carried away there and died on mid or trying to go for Raptor.
Solentes was hiding behind up top and was able to jump back in. Babs is going to get taken out by Samsky thanks to the follow-up from the choke bomb. And it's all up to Samsky to do something here. Raptor surfs onto the point very comfortably. And it's just Credu alive sitting underneath the lobby. He's ready to rotate. Once they get this cap, he could get some shots onto Raptor if he times it right. He's got to be very careful here in the lobby.
Yeah, but Samsky is going from low. He's going to spot Credu right away and going for one-on-one, and it goes in favor of the German one, who's, I guess, going to tone in chat, but no, he's not. He just stood still forever. Maybe asking why Credu was there. And this is another Uber ad for Raptor. 90% for the Austrian medic versus Ascent, who is no off classes. I'm surprised by the decision of Ascent not to have any heavy or sentry gun. The Uber is used on top line to ask Banny and Ali. The heavy is up at the door, but he's to no use, and maybe Silentes can get the trade with Polygon. It's actually happened, but actually Sorex is doing quite a lot of damage. Now the point is getting capped by Samsky, and he gets it! Raptor was I think Credu was contesting it, but he got arrowed by Raptor, and in the end that's another round. And I fear from Ascent that they're just falling into the trap of Swift, which is just playing a really hard, fast-paced TF2, which doesn't really suit their qualities.
So we've seen it twice in a row now, Banny with that skip jump over the top. How does Ascent need to counter this to take the mid?
Maybe they need to be a bit more cautious on big door. Babs needs to wait maybe a bit with her scouts so they can take Banny down, but I've never really seen such a play before, not in EU at least, so I guess this is the best way to counter it.
We do see Ali getting through the choke point, is spotting both the scouts. They are playing a little bit more passive now, waiting for that Banny bomb. Banny comes in right away, immediately taken down, and Ast is going to get sniped by Credu, who's playing in the choke point right now, getting an eye on the sky. But no players are left alive. Raptor is running away with the help of Ali and Samsky. They are just barely going to get out, but Polygon is putting on the pressure. Samsky is on the scout, going to get piped by Ali, telling him, no, you belong on Soldier, my friend. Credu is on the sniper, not scout.
And that was a good answer from Ascent. The combination of having one scout waiting for Banny and one sniper to get an early frag was a good idea from Ascent.EU. And now they have to wait for Swift's second round. The Ubers are quite in favor of Babs. And another headshot from Credu gets silencers on the big door. He's getting rushed by Az, and he's surely going to die to the Finnish scout. He does. The duel of Finnish people there on big door. But Raptor dies too. Nice flank from Poly. I think that was a drop. And now it's a freeway for Ascent if they manage to keep their medic alive.
and it looks like there's nothing to stop them because all of lobby is clear for them. They don't have the numbers to quite push in, but they could go for some kind of play here if they can lock out the players on the point. They're opting to wait for their respawns. They have the full Uber. They're not going to mess this up. They know they have 100% Uber ad.
This is the right play. They have to play cautiously. They know that. And Credu is actually quite a tech pick there. He's going to play heavy, so I'm assuming something is going to happen on the river side. And the heavy has been spotted already, so the effect of surprise is already gone. Uber is going to go top right on the shuttle onto Olaf and Sorex, but there's a gun that hasn't been taken care of before the push. It's finally taken down, and Silenter's eyes on the riverside to Samsky. Now there's a heavy battle between Samsky and Credu, who's getting spammed out by Bunny. And while there's so many cap time on point, and that's a run for Ascent. That was such a well executed push from the European team.
Yeah, I saw there Elikor cut off the entire left side through some extra spam pipes. It was Ali hiding and sneaky, and he wasn't able to get in there because Polygon was just sitting on the point, able to juggle him and clean up that frag. Nabbed them the cap. Really good response from Ascent, like you said, at that mid. That was excellent. Not only were they planning for the bomb and playing more passively, they decided to run that sniper.
Yeah.
And that sniper was able to get a pick and then follow up onto the second point to grab another frag. So I really agree with that adjustment they made for this mid fight. We do see Ali going to be opting for the choke once again, but Elikor going through big door, going to have an option to go up the right side potentially here. Seeing a lot of the players, Solentes is on the point. Banny taking a full charge shot from the sniper there. And Ast making his way through, is able to take down Elikor and follow up onto Credu. Credu can't juke as much as he wants to. Solentes is going to go down to the
Banny is on the prowl, he's flanking the seat. Nice air shot to Polygon, is getting followed by Ast, and Babs killed herself because she doesn't want to get more respawn time that she needs to. Worth noting, Samsky was on scouts on this mid. I assume he was
sniper. Credu sniper,
yeah,
Samsky scout. Scout is too
he was
strong
the same as well on he was on previous mid, but this time Ast and Samsky just rushed uncontested, and Ast just like get frags on the Elikor and then so much pressure to Credu. That was really delightful to watch. The way he countered the counter, really impressive.
Right now, we do see Ascent finally opting to go with those off classes like the Engineer and the Pyro, but Banny is already in water because they didn't check out these areas and threw things through, and now Banny's going to be working his way behind the point, starting the cap. Nobody's even stopping it. Samsky's rushing towards it. An air blast comes out from Sorex, but it's not going to be too much. Elikor is able to take down Ellie, but he gets retaliated by Samsky, and Samsky is now able to get a frag here. Both soldiers on point. It's not going to be enough, and Babs gets cleaned up. 3-1 to Swift, holding on to their lead and wanting to close this out as soon as possible.
Yeah, just Ali coming swiftly to the middle and taking his team to the last in like 30 seconds. That was, again, this is the powerhouse everyone is expecting Swift to be, and that was, again, well executed from Ali and his teammates. And I think Ascent needs to find something else, a new solution, because the sniper has been consumed once, and they have to find another way maybe to be aggressive on mids. We haven't seen any double bombs with a really aggressive demo man from Ascent, and maybe that's the way to go from now on.
Ali now at the choke point very fast. Going to get his first shots before Elikor can even get through the big door. Very slow roll from Elikor. They are running that Credu sniper still, and as a result, he's going to be trying to take a shot here at any moment. He's lining it up, but can't seem to find anyone. Finds a soldier, takes the shot, but whiffs it. And now it's a follow-up onto the players.
Samsky! He's in the middle of everyone. He gets 2 frags and he doesn't die. That's out of this world. He was held by Ali, and now only Babs is alive, and she's getting chased by both castles, by pretty much everyone in Swift besides Credu. But what was that? What was Samsky doing there? Like he rushed in the combo, killed Credu, killed Elikor, I think, and no one killed him back.
That's just how it rolls sometimes. You have a player in the midst of everyone else, and people are flailing their mouse, and it's basically an aggressive forward hold right now. They have Stickies on the right side, all their players watching the left, and they're just meat grinding these players as they come through. Samsky's going to finally get on the cap and give them the mercy round. Very quick response. Swift seems to be on top of things now.
That was rough. That was a really like the two last runs were really rough for Ascent, and all they need now is not to crumble, which is not easy because when you've been beaten that hard in like 2 minutes, it's really hard to like keep your head cool and try to find solutions. So I don't know what they're gonna bring to mids. I see Samsky on heavy, but that can't be right. Yeah, he's gonna play scout, and I want to see some aggression from Polygon and Samsky because they're just waiting, and even when they're waiting, Samsky's just cutting them through like it's paper.
Elikor getting to the mid much faster this time, getting eyes onto the players rolling through the big door. He is calling it up for his team. Solentes going to put his pressure on with that bomb, but Samsky with a big double rocket is going to be able to some pressure on, but it's too late. Polygon and Kradu have gone down, and Banny is actually potentially going to get cleaned up here. He's waiting for a long-distance arrow, gets healed up, and the flank from Samsy from behind is going to allow for a pincer situation if the players can push in through the choke.
No one is on choke, but they don't need to because they caught them off guard. It's like, look at Elacor and Babs, it's such a tricky situation. Samsky just walked over the rock and get a nice shot onto Babs. Elacor dies as well, and what can do Samsky but die at the end of Samsky? Looks like SVIFT just found his space. Yeah.
Polygon tried to work his way into the lobby there, gets cleaned up immediately, and Salentes will be able to pick up on the Sorks as well. It is a very clean push coming up. Full Uber, 4-man advantage, 3-man advantage. He'll be getting the frags here. Not much that can be done here. Samsky is going to go for a desperate bomb here, jumping in at the last possible moment, trying to juggle Bandy onto the point, but he's going to get cleaned up, and that is going to be the round. 5-1. That's not the end, though. It is a win difference of 5.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreline, the scoreboard, I mean, 16 minutes remaining, so it's hard to believe it could happen, but why not another flip of the situation? But yeah, this one looks a really bit far-fetched, and I don't know, it looks really, really rough for Ascent now.
Kaboom. That's all I have to say about that.
And that's maybe the last middle we're gonna witness on Gildewash as he's playing heavy, so maybe some special shenanigans going on for the Finnish heavy weapons guy. Now Elacor is gonna walk on the right side, helped by his scout. As he's gonna go all the way through choke. Maybe he's gonna surprise them. They're not gonna expect him. Ali is just walking over point, and as he's going into play, he gets Polygon out by surprise and gets maybe someone else. He gets a lot of damage with minigun, and Ascent now probably has to retreat, but Sorex is weak on the point. Maybe they can do it. Samsky with knife frag onto the heavy. Kradu was on roamer and Samsky was on scout. I didn't see that one coming.
Now, there's still plenty of time left to take 4 rounds back. This is certainly not over, and although that play was a very good wraparound and was able to pick up on the soldier, they lost the mid as a result, not having that extra scout frag power. And so you see Banny jumping over to the choke. He's trying to get the pressure on Zoot. So much damage with these rockets. Salentes is going to come over, and Ali is going to cut off Sorex's escape route. So they are currently 1 man down, but there's no pressure on the side of SVIFT to push. They can play defensively.
Yeah, Ubers are the same, so it's really up to Ascent now to do something because they're losing 5-1. What worse could happen to them besides losing the map? All they can do could work. We don't know, but it depends on Samsky is still on scout, Kradu is still on the roamer, so kind of a not choice of class selection there. I guess I don't know what is the plan there. Samsky and Kradu are trying to bust through the big door, but they get Samsky and actually Salentes as well. So maybe the switch of class is what was Ascent needed to come back into this game.
A lot of sticks in the choke point. Polygon's going to get juggled into the face of Ali, but Ali is not going to be afraid of it. The Uber is forced off from Babs, and Raptor getting juggled. Going to pop up his own, try and get Ali in here to cut off the escape route. And Polygon is going to have the help of Elacor cutting off the shutter, but with Kradu down, thanks to the help of Banny, there's going to be a very big new numbers disadvantage. But Elacor is not afraid. He's going to be getting all these frags with his pipes and his stickies. Ali is also going to get taken by Sorex, so no demo man alive. Raptor is cut off in front of the forward spawn, going to get cleaned up by Sorex. And Samsky was able to grab onto Ast. It's just Banny alive on top of the crates. He's sitting onto Elacor, but Elacor hits a nice pipe.
Ooh,
one more follow-up can do it, but no, Banny is able to get the crater shot, and Samsky will finally be able to retaliate there. Ascent has a comeback chance here. They can take 1 more round and then take a few more mids, and it could be in their hand again.
Yeah, why not? Comeback is possible. Babs has a 50% ad. They have to play their game, being a bit more cautious. Samsky is on the heavy. They have to build this charge, and they have to decide what push they're going to do right now. So there's no confusion. Elacor is kind of weak, but yeah, it's just running out. Kradu is trying to hide, maybe. He's on water. He has been spotted by Salentes, so he's probably going to die. I've heard a sentry gun, I think, from Ask, but yeah, sentry's on the left side. They have a heavy, so they may be leading 5-1. This is no petty business for SVIFT.
Unable to pick up that engineer frag. They are going to be moving down underneath. Sorex getting eyes onto the heavy and the demo man. Demo man going to go down and take now, but no, a nice little pipe from Ali. Staying alive, 4 HP, and it's going to fall up on Elacor. 1 more pipe is all it's going to take, and that's going to be it. Very good defense from Ali, staying alive at the last possible moment. Unfortunately, couldn't clean up that kill, and it's just Polygon alive.
Ali is amazing.
Actually, it's Kradu on Soldier there.
Yeah, what Ali did there was completely out of this world. Everyone from Ascent has a respawn, but the Uber is on the end of Raptor, so I'm expecting some busting through the choke of Ascent right now. Ali is leading the charge help with Ast. Polygon is there, gonna maybe force Raptor, let's one rocket, but not two, and the aggression from Credo is a bit late. Both soldiers are dead on Ascent, and now they have to leave. They have to retreat if they want to keep having a chance in this game.
But they will. 12 minutes is still plenty of time to get 3 or 4 rounds. Absolutely doable right now. They need to be playing defensive because if Swift actually take this round, it will be the end. A 5-round lead is all they need. Banny now sitting at the choke, or the shutter, very close. It's Ali rotating through main. He's going to be going right away. The Uber is forced off. They want to get to Babs. But Babs rotates into the lobby, or the sub resupply. Very safe. Solentes able to pick up on the Samsky now. Babs is going to have the Uber in about 3 seconds, but they got to get to the point. Sorex is going to get cleaned up, and Babs can't even get the Uber time. It's going to be 6-1. Swift take the map series 2-0, but a very big upset in my opinion from Ascent with that first round. They did so well with.
Well, they could have done better.
On Gully Watch, they could have done better. But
really
Gully Watch is such an old map. You can't expect these experienced players
so
to.
So the lesson there is that Swift is unbeaten in the group stage.
That is correct. Swift, the first team as far as we know to go undefeated in the group stages. Yeah, every
Without
other team, as
having
far as I
lost
can
a
see,
single
has
map.
lost or tied a round. So we're going to kick it over to our analysts and Getawell, our caster, our co-host, host guy, Getawell, that's you.
Host guy.
I'm much more a fan of the safe play. You know,
Okay.
no risks,
Yeah.
no heavies to mid. No,
Yeah.
I think it was just Ast was just wanting to try something fun.
Yeah.
I think they were in control of the game. They realised there was no risk to this. I think Ast just wanted to try something fun.
It worked out. Yeah.
I mean, they lost the mid in the round. I think was that the round they lost? Or?
No, they almost did, but Swift
okay.
came back and sealed it. But I mean, you know, we're seeing a huge difference there. Felt like we saw a totally different, not Swift team, Ascent team. What in the hell happened, Epoli? Very big difference.
Yeah, well, I think you've got to put a lot of it down to the map. As was mentioned by the casters, this is, like, Gully is such an established map. These guys will have played it, 100, 1,000 times, whatever. Like, it's a very different kind of playing field to Reckoner.
Mm-hmm.
But that still doesn't go all the way to explaining exactly what happened. You kind of saw the first couple of mids didn't go particularly well for Ascent. It seemed that Swift were able to get way too much space. There was at least 1 or 2 mids where Banny could just basically bomb all the way across point.
Yeah.
Skip straight into Big Door, do huge damage, and I said because of the timing in which he's going, it's more or less is not really caring what they're doing. It's just going like a full commit straight into them, and it would work. Obviously, Ascent tried to mix things up by running Sniper to mid and putting Samsky on Scout, and in the end,
they're trying stuff, as we've seen all day. They're trying stuff to defend against it, but it's not working.
I get it. You're clearly losing to what is a superior team in terms of DM and skill and experience.
Yep.
But
Good
I'm
looks.
not sure if possibly. I'm not sure if swapping your Roma and Scout just for a solid 2/3 of the game is exactly the right play. Like, granted,
Sniper to mid, not the
they
answer.
They did win 1 mid on Sniper, but then they failed horribly every other mid.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I said to her, when you're rolling a Sniper, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if you're rolling a Sniper out to mid, you're basically betting around on your Sniper getting a headshot. That's about it.
I think you have to play that smart, like that mid smart. When you have a sniper, you have to be ready to leave. I think.
Yeah.
And this is what Ascent didn't do. Is when you have a sniper, if he doesn't get a pick in the first 5 seconds,
That's it.
That mid is lost.
You got to bail out. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't bail out. They're committed to this sniper mid. They're going to go in. They're going to try and win, whatever. And I think that's why they got wiped like 3 times in that.
I think
a smart team like Seven would, if they had a sniper mid, it's not very confident. But if they did, they would be ready to leave and hold second.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference there.
Yeah, is it just a matter of a team like Seven or whoever being more experienced that Ascent just doesn't have the experience or the confidence, or like, what do you think?
I think, just for a second to go back to the whole sniper mid kind of play,
sure.
You've got to, even though the fact that the sniper mid's obviously failed and you're putting a lot on the sniper to make a play, at least 2 mids in a row. The 2 mids they failed horribly on Sniper. He was still able to pump about 200 damage into Banny, completely nullifying Banny's ability to move across point, which logically would put them in a good position to begin with, but they were still not able to do anything. It's like...
Yeah. Sounds good on paper.
Exactly. Like they were committed to the big door, hoping the Sniper would do stuff, and then the Sniper would kind of be able to deny like 1/6 of the enemy team, and then they'd be like, right, what do we do now?
Yeah.
We need to actually find something else to do. But
Yeah.
obviously, like, you kind of got to think it's group stages. The results kind of don't really matter. It's only seeding. No one's getting like knocked out in group stages, so they might have just thought, let's do something different. Let's try it out. Let's see whether we can make this kind of mid work against a team like SVIFT.
Yeah, you almost got the feeling toward the end that Ascent was kind of like they didn't really care about the round outcomes as much as...
Yeah, it's just, you know, try some different things. I don't... No idea what the whole Samsky Credu swapping was all about. Presumably there was some logic to that, but just not anything which I could exactly make sense of. But
well, we can get the logs up as I believe as we can have a look and see if there's anything that jumps out at us. I mean, what other kind of notes? I mean, what other stuff, Perm, were you noticing in terms of that? Was there that much that we could take from that map?
I think one thing I noticed was how well Ali was defending last. Whenever Ascent they had a few opportunities to push.
Yep.
And Ali is very good at hiding in water. He keeps stickies on the points.
Yeah.
He hides in water.
Or sneaky, or that one
somewhere.
time,
And it's really hard for Ascent to push. And when the roles were reversed, I think Elocure was very open, and it left Ascent just completely vulnerable to Swift aggression, and they just sort of rushed into last and just completely tore them apart.
Yeah, we can get the logs. We can pull the logs up. Yeah, there we go. One thing that we were talking about here on the couch, Eeply, was the way that the mids were for Swift, that they were just like pushing and pushing. It was like Banny was like a junkyard dog and just like smelling blood, and it was just working. It was just terrifying on their mids.
I think there's one particular mid. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but there was... It started off really good for Ascent. They managed to take a lot of position. They had better health. They had more players. Everything was looking good. But you still had Banny, you still had Smizzy and Raptor alive. And Smizzy he sat there with his 185, and he just had complete confidence in his ability to move forward, to force Ascent to kind of move backwards on the point. I'm pretty sure he went down to about 40 health, and he's still just like moving forward, dodging, trying to get as much damage as physically possible. And Ascent was so spooked by this kind of relentless aggression, this like complete confidence that it will work, that they were just completely focused on Swizzy. Banny jumps in, Babs drops immediately, and that's just basically the mid over. It's this complete total confidence kind of play that that Swift do. They know that they'll hit their shots. It's almost like the kind of BM of, we know they won't hit theirs. We know that they can't deal with us as well as we can deal with them, so we can take way more risks and make these kind of plays which Ascent would never be able to do the other way around in their current state.
Perm, what do you think that the Ascent team can take from this? Because this is the end of groups now. We're moving on. We're going to have a best of three, actually, elimination series coming up after this. But what do you think you can take from this if you're Ascent? Because it's kind of demeaning. You know, you've been kind of high on yourself and having some good maps, and they had a great Reckoner, and now it's 6-1, and it's kind of embarrassing a little bit. What do you think they can take from it, if anything?
I think from this map, I think it's best for them just to forget about it, to be honest.
Just go to the bar.
I can't actually think of many sort of, points for them to take out of this map. I think this is best for them. There are lots of positives from Reckoner. I don't know how they performed on this map in the rest of the tournament. I haven't kept track of it too well. But I think they need to look about how they fight mids, I think, and especially because a lot of these rounds were just lost at mid and it just rolled into last, and I think they need to focus on that, and Gullywash particularly.
Yeah, you agree, Play?
Yeah, basically, exactly what Pam said. Their mids were just straight up worse, their last holds were straight up worse. Like, there's some clear fundamentals which they need to work on to be able to compete with this kind of team on this map.
So hopefully then they can, if you're a fan of them, hopefully they can do it as they go and not, get all that wisdom on Monday when they look at all the demos or whatever, I mean, the stat line from Swift, just fantastic. 372 DPM by Banny. Even Raptor had a KAD of 3.5, 2 frags by Raptor. I didn't catch them. I don't know if we had them on camera, but great for Swift. I mean, a lot of people coming in this tournament, especially with Banny coming here all the way from the United States to play with them. A lot of people thinking Swift favorites. How do you feel? Do you think that we can take anything from that, or do you think it's maybe not a fair fight?
Well, I think the one thing you kind of got to take away, obviously, it was expected for Swift to beat Ascent.
Yep.
But the way in which they beat them, there was actually, I think, a good couple negatives to kind of allot them. I mean, you'll find on 7 that at the beginning of basically any mid, especially against teams like Low Panda, the kind of people who are more likely to run off classes, you'll always have a scout in spawn, go spy, check the classes. After the first sniper mid, you would have thought that's the time where Swift actually start checking classes in spawn and start paying attention.
That's a good point.
But there were 2 more sniper mids after that where whatever scout they'd usually have do that, if they have one, he just basically didn't. It's this kind of, I don't know, it's just their confidence of, I don't care what they're running to mid because we know that we can beat them, but that's kind of taking things a bit too far. You're denying yourself information basically just for the sake of it.
You can't just do that only against 7, for example, because teams can start to take advantage of that.
Exactly, just like it's basically free information, and yet they more or less didn't consider it worth getting. Yeah, they win it anyway, but I'm sure it would have at least helped their mid somehow if they knew for certain if there was a sniper going to mid. I'm unwilling to bet that their prediction is that spot on that they just know, unless there's something suspicious going on. But
there's an alternate universe where Ascent came back and it was beautiful.
Well,
and
exactly, but it's just more the fact that, Swift know they're good, they know they've got the DM, they know they've got the skill, but there's also a certain level of complacency which comes with that. You've also seen that from the fact that recently they've not really been playing, they've not really been scrimming that much in like the build-up to the event. You've got to think that eventually, you've always got to hope that eventually this level of kind of confidence to the point that you're not working on the little things anymore, you've got to hope that it will kind of catch up to them a bit. Maybe not so much that they lose a lot, but that you can kick them back into action, because you could be seeing, with just a few kind of changes, a bit more kind of effort going into things, a stronger team again. They're already a very strong team, but they could be even more again.
Yeah.
Which I think would just be, fantastic to see. They've got incredible players.
They got to hit that full potential,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think, just...
But it's only groups.
Exactly.
It's still only groups. They're saving some in the gas tank,
It's group stuff. They probably, don't particularly care too much. They probably had a few drinks in a,
They weren't fully taking the piss, but, they could take it a little further. I get you.
Yeah.
We're going to be taking a break here shortly because we're going to be having, it's the end of groups, like we said. We're going to be having a best of 3, and we're going to start in on double elim. Do we want to talk about overall feelings on the invite group and maybe like oh, we have another result actually. We had Weave Tunnel 2-0'd Nunya.
Which is interesting.
That is a little interesting.
Yeah, well, considering obviously Nunya, this isn't quite Nunya, this is partially Nunya, which were the 8th team in Prem in the most recent E2F12 season. It's kind of part them, part a mixture of like some other players. And obviously Lolly scored as a team that won high. And
but they've struggled today a little bit, Lolly
Exactly.
squad.
If you were to look at just the base numbers, you'd think probably, you wouldn't necessarily be surprised that Lolly scored 1, but you'd kind of think it would be pretty equal, could kind of go either way.
Yeah.
But at this point, Weave Tunnel 2-0ing Nunya, you're kind of thinking this is going to be a rough land for Nunya. Them being 8th place is a pretty likely occurrence right now, honestly.
You feel that way? Yeah?
At least, only group stages, there's still a lot they can do. There's still a lot they can fix. I hope, for the sake of competition, they can sort some things out. But this is a problem with, that kind of the muddier part at the bottom of the invite group, where you've got these lower teams, basically.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Primzilla, is it all kind of stacking out the way that you thought, or I don't know how closely you follow ETF2L these days?
I mean, not very closely. I follow sort of the top teams.
Yeah.
And as a very unbiased.
Ooh,
caster,
he only follows the top teams.
Biased.
Primzilla, you heard it here first.
As I don't have any particular
I wonder what Twitch chat has to say with that. Yeah, right.
But yeah, this group in particular, I've been following the other group more as I've been following 7 clearly.
Can we get a guest on the couch that's not cheering for 7? What's going on with that?
But he's secret. He's just underneath this jumper.
Well, he's
also wearing 7,
he's unbiased, but every special guest that we're getting, former player who's not playing in this tournament, is like a spy for 7 or something.
Some kind of thing going on there, I think.
But yeah, I mean, you might not have been following or had predictions for the lower teams, but I mean, have there been any surprises? Do you obviously think 7's going to be number 1? Give us the Permzilla opinion, because you know Twitch wants it.
Yeah, of course. I don't think I could ever bet against Seven. I think you just look at their roster, and I find it really hard to say they are not going to win. I think you have to really back another team to say Seven aren't going to win.
Yeah.
But it's definitely possible. We've seen Antic take a map on today.
Yep.
SVIFT are also looking very strong. I think it's definitely possible.
How do you think SVIFT versus Seven plays out if we get to there, which we probably will?
So they played a cup a few weeks ago, didn't
right,
they?
yep.
If I'm right, and I think Seven won that.
Yeah,
so
it was narrow. It was 2 maps to 1, but...
So that's anything to go by. Then that's all we've got for LAN until tomorrow, I guess.
Look to the past.
Yeah.
We have another result that came in. What was that result? Antic 2-0, no input.
That's expected at this point, you know.
Wow.
Apparently, no input. I've got 0 points.
No points in the groups.
No
you know what? These are all great teams. They're a lot better than me. Somebody has to get last.
Yeah, well, plus, in fairness, Group A was the group of death. 7, Antic, no input, low panda. You have 3 of the top 4 teams, I would argue, in there. And then you've got no input shoveled in there. Especially the team that got through qualifiers. That's a rough group for them. I'm not exactly surprised at getting 0 points, but I'm hoping in terms of Antic's performance, especially taking a map off 7, I'm hoping to see them do really well at LAN. Because, as we mentioned before, they are real LAN veterans. They, a lot of those guys have been playing in the scene for like years, seasons and
forever,
seasons.
yeah.
And they're the kind of team which they have a level of consistency on LAN which few others can match just because
and
of all
comfort. It's almost like muscle memory.
Exactly.
Is it almost like muscle memory out? Like you've played a billion LANs. Do you almost kind of just get in the zone where it's like not even a thing anymore, and you're just?
I think you do get used to it. It doesn't. It's not different. You just come to LAN and you just play it, and it feels like you do at home.
Yeah.
The first few LANs, it really is different.
Yeah.
And you really have to focus on adapting, and this whole sort of new to LAN, will it affect them? I think it actually makes sense. I think it has an impact.
But once you're a wily veteran, it's just like nothing, blindfold.
I think so. Yeah, like you still feel pressure, but I think in terms of comfort and like how used to you are to playing on LAN, I think after a few you're just fine.
Yeah. Gabe Newell just told me that 7 2-0'd. Who was it? Sorry, Lopander.
That's an interesting one.
It's not bad, yeah.
That's an interesting one, especially because I heard from certain members of 7 that apparently they were really looking forward to playing Low Panda in the groups because Low Panda have been refusing to scrim them recently. They've been not up for those kind of games for whatever possible reason. So
because they're like they're the wacky team that like has all the crazy strats, maybe.
Well, the thing is, Low Panda always used to be the team. They always said they ran like the flex role. They were like, oh, we don't have a roamer, we have a flex, all that kind of thing.
Yep.
Which used to be the case. These days, they're getting more and more standard. Really, like they play very heavily around their scouts because in Venice they have incredibly strong scouts. But Mookie does way less of the kind of permanent off-classing than usual. And I think that was why members of 7 were so interested to kind of play them because they're still very liberal with their use of off-classes and especially different weapons, banners, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a team which you want to practice against, you want to get some experience against in order to do things. But obviously, if you can't scrim them before the event, you've got to get all your information at the event itself. So it's interesting to see that, as I said, first day we saw 7 performing worse than you'd expect against Antic on Granary. The fact that they're still able to 2-0 Low Panda,
it's pretty impressive.
You would suggest is.
Now we don't. I'm not sure the maps. Do we know what maps? Hey, production. What maps was that 7 2-0'd Low Panda with? Do we have it? We're not sure. Gabe Newell's going to check it out with Robin Walker.
This means 7 have won that group, if I'm not mistaken. I think because Low Panda drew with Antic.
I imagine
correct?
so. Is that correct? Is 7 top of their group now?
So SVIFT have won Group
We're
B.
checking it. Our fact checkers are on it.
We need the tables up.
But impressive anyway. But I mean, are they maybe saving some in the tank kind of thing? It was Process and Gully.
Well, Gully is a classic 7 crowns kind of map anyway, they always say. And in fairness, Process is quite an interesting one to beat Low Panda on just because there's a lot of weird things, a lot of whatever you can do on Process mids in particular. And yeah, we just got confirmation. SVIFT was top of their group, 7 was top of theirs.
And 7. So is that our final we're heading toward? I don't know.
If I was to put money down right now, I'm thinking that's that's got to be where it's going from the results we've got so far.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Both teams have exceptionally good players.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think a lot of people were probably calling that final before we even got here to England. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, final thoughts, or will we move on? Like I say, we're going to have a break here in a second, but I mean, I think most things have played out pretty similarly. On the macro scale, I mean, I think that the standings and the tables ended up basically the way that we imagined, with maybe some wild cards and interesting stories developing that we might see going forward. Would you agree?
In terms of overall, it was more or less as expected. There was, some specific things in each games where, teams played a little bit better or a little bit worse or just a little bit differently to how expected. But in terms of just the overall results, I think it's more or less what you would guess if you had been following the teams for, a good couple months.
Yeah. That doesn't mean there wasn't some awesome TF2.
It was still worth watching.
It was still very worth
watching.
There was. It was a bit of a slow start, but we got going. Do we say that every time? I don't know. Maybe we do, but it was true. We don't lie here on these white couches in Birmingham, England. We'll tell you what. I've mentioned it a couple times now. We're done groups. We have a best of 3 coming up. I'm not sure the teams yet, but we are going to take a quick break. You don't want to go anywhere. If you're in North America, it's still early. It's still early for us. We're just like on the energy rush now still. We're just like wired.
That's it for another good 2.5 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah. So don't go anywhere. You're going to want to stick with us here on Twitch TV. We will be right back in a little bit with more TF2 before Friday is out. We'll see you in a little bit.